Hi everyone, good evening and welcome to the Clubracing UK podcast, episode 10, coming into your living rooms via Facebook, YouTube and the Paddock page. We've got a couple of guests on for us today. One of them is going to join us a little bit later on, a very special guest who you have seen before. But today we've got Nick Gough with us. Now, you would have seen him on social media as Moarwin Motorsports. And he's got plenty of tricks up his sleeve that he's been carrying out during the season in 2 series. So we're going to cover that today. We also went racing at the Brands finale for TDC and EnduroKa. We'll tell you a little bit about that as well. And a couple of weeks ago, Nick and Stef were that enamoured with the C1 Racing Club and driving in effectively the rival for the series, they thought they'd have a go themselves. So we'll tell you all about that as well. So without further ado, I'm joined by the gruesome twosome that is Nick Holmes and Stefan Marsh. Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
And finally, we welcome our first special guest this evening, Nick Gough of Moarwin Racing. Good evening, Nick.
Hello. How's it going?
Well, that's what you're here to tell us all about this evening. See how your season's gone and tell us how it's going with you.
You guys are blessed this evening, for anyone listening as well. Two Nicks in the same room. I mean, it's literally doesn't get any better, does it?
Yeah. It doesn't get any better than that. Well, already the comments have started flowing in from YouTube. Carl Barton joins us this evening. Hello, hope we're all good. Matt Cleary's here. Chris Pratt is here on his own profile this time. Chris, you're not a Facebook user today. Matt Cleary did comment, at least I can be first at something. That's what she said. Jason Stone joins us this evening. We have got a first Facebook user, so if you do comment and it comes up with that on the show, just try and put your name at the end of the comment and we'll pick it up. Paul Harvey, evening Chewbacca. I don't know if that's aimed at me or not.
It's definitely aimed at you.
I'm going to guess it's you.
Or in that case... Sam Pierce Motorsports joins us this evening. LPR Racing. We've got more Facebook users. Creed Racing. Frank Frostick joining us from Donington Park. Carl Barton as well. Right, let's get on with the show then. So, our guest today is none other than Nick Gough. We've already introduced him, so we're going to get him to tell us all about the first part of his wonderful season in 2021. And really, it's kind of where it started for you in the shape of an Audi TT. So you've been doing Roadsports this year, haven't you?
That's right, yeah. I've been competing in 5 out of 6 rounds of the 750 Motor Club Roadsports this year in the Audi. It's been an eventful season. Second season in Roadsports, technically, although last season was quite short, only 2 races.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say it started off as an eye-opener and then it ended on a more positive note, in a weird way, but we'll probably get on to that further down the line.
So this is the car in question. Now, you don't see many Audi TTs except, well, maybe there's one in the Castle Clean Racing Club. There's one that's done Time Attack, I believe. They're quite a rare car to see out on the racing circuit.
For good reason.
Oh, don't say that. Well, they look cool as a race car.
I was going to say, why is that? Because I do think they look quite cool.
Yeah, no, it does look great. That's probably the best part of it a lot of the time. It's harder running a car that you don't have much to go from. You can't go out and buy parts off the shelf that will immediately make you faster. A lot of it is quite custom, which I suppose in a way a lot of race cars have a lot of custom bespoke parts in them, but you just seem like you're reinventing the wheel all the time with the car. Which isn't cheap, but it's rewarding when it works.
Okay, so you've entered the Roadsports then. So what made you pick that series?
I wanted something that was quite close and competitive. There's a lot of series out there where you can kind of throw your money at it, and the more power that you can afford to buy, the better you'll do. The Roadsports series is obviously in power to weight classes, which makes it an incredibly even field, really. You're free with aero, suspension, brakes, that's all free, but when it comes down to it, you can have a Lotus Elise at 300 brake horsepower a ton, racing with an M3 in exactly the same, and you'll see the differences on track, but they'll set roughly a similar lap time, and I think that just, to me, it's very appealing.
Okay. Well, it says that you did start the year with a few issues.
So I thought, we'll get started.
Well, I can see one of them. He's run himself over. That's not the best way to start, really, is it?
Yeah.
Being stuck under your car.
At some point throughout the season, I did realise that wasn't the best way to check tyre pressures.
Like it?
Yeah. So started the season off. I thought I'll enter the 750 Motor Club test day. Went there, backed the car off the trailer, and it refused to start all day. I had various people trying to help me, and it was a sensor issue in the end. But just one of those things that took all day to try and diagnose, didn't get anywhere, and then it was a £40 part, and it ran absolutely fine. So that was frustrating, but rather it done it there than first race of the season.
Yeah, definitely.
It's true. That sounds like a Nick problem there.
It does.
It does.
What happened at my first race at Silverstone, Rob?
Your car came off the trailer and refuses to start.
Yeah. It literally fired up. It literally fired up every time without issue. Get it near a racetrack and it just refused to start.
Yeah.
Little shit. And again, it was something really. It was actually just the earth cable on my account. But which bit was it for you?
It was. I think it was like the coolant temp sensor or the crank sensor or something. Was just.
Oh right.
It was running as soon as it reached temperature, it just cut out. So I had the embarrassing drag of shame. I literally got to the pit exit at one stage and then had to be dragged all the way around the lap under red flags.
Oh, no.
That was shame.
Now, I have to admit, Nick, apparently there is something that we both have in common in that this year we have had issues with splitters. Well, not so much this year for myself, but last year. But we've both had issues with splitters, and we have got a video clip here. So let's just have a look at that first.
Not ideal. Yeah, so at first I thought, oh, the splitter's come loose, it's gone under the car, this is really not great. But then it felt normal, and turns out Croft's quite bumpy. The splitter it's actually as high as I can get it, but it's still only about 60 mil off the floor, and basically I was hitting a bump in a particular place on that straight at Croft, and it was getting into the puddle and just flicking water everywhere. And quite out a little bit too much downforce. I think water perhaps gives you a bit more downforce than air, it would seem.
Whoops.
I was going to say, looking at those washers, they're bent outward.
Yeah, just the pressure of trying to get it up and tight, and wasn't great. So we had to have a bit of a redesign there. And it's been fine since. Touch wood so far. It's a bit weird bolting a piece of wood underneath the front of your car, doesn't it? But it works.
Well, does it, Rob?
It doesn't. Wow. It doesn't work.
Somehow we've done
not when you make it out of paper thin ply. Definitely not.
No, when you don't, and then you
hardboard.
A bit of hardboard, and then you let the bearded buffoon below me out in the car, and he goes, "Yeah," and then rips it off.
Don't blame me. I was there to test. And I tested the structural rigidity of your splitter. It turns out it was terrible.
That's a good point. However, moving on, let's go on some comments. So, Megan Edwards, good evening, everyone. Received my calendar today.
Yay.
We'll move on to the calendar later. Nick's frozen in a very suave look there. He does look good. Oh, no. Right, we've got our first Facebook user, which is actually Jamie Peter Ennis. Met Nick at Silverstone during the 750 Roadsports. Had a great battle with the mini clubman I was helping with. Annoyingly, he beat us. Nevertheless, Nick was fantastically clean driver. There we go. So you've had your first plaudit there.
Whee.
Yeah, that's fun. Thanks, Jamie.
James Stone Street as well. He comments on the issue of driving. I've had that. Drove on the trailer and then at the track wouldn't fire. Turned out to be a random relay on the body control unit. It happens.
cars.
I'll tell you, it happened. To be fair, Nick, Holmes,
It does happen.
happened at Donington this year, didn't it?
For you, actually, it did.
Yeah. Well, it was you that was sat in the car when we were trying to fire it up, and it just wouldn't. No.
Yeah, I'm just a bad omen for race cars. I might take up tennis. I think I'm just going to take up tennis. Much easier.
Certainly,
Tennis.
certainly
We look
create
good in
a
the
bit more.
whites.
Well, he certainly knows how to create a racket.
Whee.
There we go.
Oh my God! Get out!
I need to get my sound
Get
effects
out!
back.
You do need the sound effects back. Stu Waite joins us.
Oh,
James Stone Street as well needs Tinnerman washers. It stops the bolts wearing flat.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
there you go.
Tip.
Consumer advice on the show tonight.
I
Yeah.
know. But how have you found it this year with Roadsports being on the live? You can see here you're being on the live stream because there was quite a bit of focus on you this year whenever you were out racing. How did you find that?
Yeah, I like it. It gives you the opportunity to watch back your race from the outside as well.
Yeah.
And especially, I think part of owning the TT as well is there's a big following from the TT forum and the groups on Facebook. So you get a lot of positive comments from that respect, which is always nice for the ego. It's good to have. I don't have much experience of keyboard warriors. I know we were speaking about that earlier. I get quite positive comments, which is refreshing. But yeah, no.
The thing is, it's always nice in my eyes. Everybody knows this now. It's well documented. It's always good seeing a different race car on the track. You know, there is. You know, you've already mentioned M3s, Civics, all of that jazz, MX5. So it's actually really nice to see someone actually using their imagination and trying something different, but still getting results from it.
Why did you choose a TT, Nick?
A long time ago, I wanted a car for weekend use that was turbo and not front-wheel drive. And now, ironically, I've converted the TT into a front-wheel drive car for the racetrack. But yeah, just something a bit different because I was looking at Civics or Imprezas and the huge, and I thought, now let's do something slightly different.
Something different.
Don't cut hair for a living, as much as someone might say.
Nice.
But yeah, that was probably 8 years ago now, and it's only obviously been racing for 2 years. So
Yeah, so it's effectively had 5 years as a track car. So what made you do the jump into racing? Is it always something you've wanted to do, or?
Yeah, it was always something I'd love to have raced all my life. I'd have loved to have raced. Never thought I'd have the money or the ability to do it. And then weirdly, I turned up for an MOT in 2018 and was offered a seat in a C1 of all things.
No way.
So yeah, once I got that, had a few races in the C1, I thought, right, I've got to do what I can to get the TT out there and race that. And that took 2 years to get that to a point where it was ready. But it was, yeah, best thing I've ever done, really. It's great fun.
Oh, I like it. So your first dabble of racing was in the C1 then?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it.
I've done 4 races, or 3 in 2018 and 1 in 2019, just as a pay driver with a team who just wanted a 4th driver. And it was, yeah, just brilliant. I just about managed to get to Rockingham. Had a couple of races there.
Oh, what a place. What a place.
Yeah. It gets a lot of stick, and I don't understand why. I think it's great.
I loved it. Oh,
Yeah.
Brilliant track.
Oh, I miss Rockingham. I do.
Yeah.
Massive mistake getting rid of that. But hey ho, unfortunately we move on. Now we've got another Facebook user. Unfortunately, we haven't got the name here. Was expecting Nick's whole house to be painted orange, to be honest.
True, to be fair,
Yeah, that's a fair
it's
point,
missing
actually.
some orange.
I was going to say that it's very toned down today, but we have got a picture here. Here we go.
Go.
The famous Moarwin beanie hats.
Yeah. I've actually got one right.
All the orange. Whee.
Bit warm.
So why the orange then?
I have no idea.
Everyone
It's
likes orange.
Started orange, and just run with it. Don't do things by half.
Why not?
Yeah.
But again,
Why
though,
not?
it stands out, doesn't it? It's not only about having a different car. It's. I mean, everyone has their little themes, colours, and stuff like that, don't they?
Yeah, I think
bright orange, and let's be honest, it is bright orange. It's it definitely stands out.
Before McLaren did, so well, not originally, but they saw the success and moved back to orange. I feel that way.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we've got a picture of the team here. Sorry to interrupt you, Nick. We've got a picture of the team here. So tell us about the people you've got on board with you this year.
So number one is Vinny, who he also races with us. There he is, absolute legend of a man. I wouldn't even make it to a race weekend, let alone enter a race without him. Just great, organising absolutely everything, making sure the car's prepped, making sure it's prepped between sessions, before races. He's just a legend. And to sort of reward him for that, he's now racing with us in the C1 as well, which we own together. So he is, head honcho. We've got Andy, Ollie, and Dave then, who just hands. Dave's pretty handy on the car. Ollie's good with the photographs, and Andy just does a bit of everything as well. And all three of them are just fantastic. I think I watched the podcast when you learned about Arrive and Drive, and you need a good team behind you, and I think that's what I have there without having to pay. I think, I don't know about you guys, but I find people are so willing to come and help, because just, as you know yourself, just being at a racetrack for the day, even if you're not behind the wheel, is just a great opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, 100%. We've got with our team guys, and Justin White. He's so enthusiastic just to come out, and bless him. Like, we'll get onto it a bit later, but the long slog he had with the weekend we've just had, and the guy's always got a smile on his face, even if even if we are working him to his absolute limit. Race weekend, but he loves just being there and having a good time. And as you say, when you've got all your mates around you and you're having a laugh, and you're all, although you're out having fun because you're driving, but it's a good good friendly family atmosphere, isn't it?
There we go.
I get reports. Go on, sorry.
Well, it's the one thing we've been talking about, this lovely car. I think we need to hear a bit of it now, but we've got a bit of onboard here from, well, let's be honest, a very, very wet Croft.
Pretty wet.
He missed it.
That was mildly moist, wasn't
it? Rob's windscreen as well.
Yeah. No,
nothing. You're nothing.
No, got absolutely nothing for that. I'm not going to lie. But unfortunately, as well, as we've discussed before, Nick, you've had a few collisions this year. So should we start with Silverstone? Not your fault. Unfortunately, you've been a victim of circumstances. Shall we start with Silverstone? Because we've got an image here that...
What has happened there?
Not even on the track.
Yeah. So I've spoken to Chris this morning just to give him a heads up, and he's fine with it. Because as far as I'm concerned, Chris dealt with it in the right way, which... Maybe not the incident at the time. I feel for the guy. He got disqualified. I've done everything I could with the clerk of the course to try and not get him disqualified, because it wasn't him that released himself into the pit lane. It was just unfortunate circumstances.
Oh no!
So his guy let him out the pits, out the box, into my path. He was distracted at the time, talking to a female, which made it just a bit worse. And then it makes it even worse for Chris, because that female was his sister. All caught on camera as well. So, yeah. Oops. But he grabbed me in Parc Fermé straight away to apologise. basically dragged me out of the car to apologise, and yeah, as I say, no, I'm done.
We may have a clip of that. Can we just? We may have an apology clip there somewhere that you sent through. Okay,
Ooh,
take
you know
the
that-
stuff off now. For those
Who did
listening,
Who did the captions on that?
That is Nick at Team Moarwins Racing.
That's amazing.
that is very, very good. I like that. If you are listening on our audio now, see if you can get onto YouTube and watch this back, just to watch the captions on that video. It's quite amusing.
That's brilliant.
But
You should try not driving into people, mate.
But to be fair, Nick, to have someone come up and see you like that straight away, put their hands up, I'm really, really sorry.
Yeah.
You've got to give them credit for that, haven't you?
Yeah, like I say, it wasn't even his fault, really. Yeah, as I say, and that's what you ask for in club racing. You're all mates there at the end of the day. You want to be friendly, and I think stuff happens on track, doesn't it? None of us are perfect.
No, absolutely not.
No.
But it's a busy old place, isn't it? The pit lane.
Yeah,
There's lots going on. Not only is everyone trying to service cars, and there's people everywhere, and so these things happen.
yeah. And like I say, I think it's about an £80 wing to replace them. We're good to go again. So
£80 for a TT wing. Wow,
That's not bad.
expensive.
Uh,
I don't know.
I don't think Nick is a conveyor of TT parts, to be fair.
I'm not. You know who could be though?
Who?
Silver Lake.
Oh, good
Ah,
boy, yeah.
yes, very, very good.
Nice plug there, Nick.
Nice
Like-
plug
Yeah,
there,
it
Nick.
was.
Nick
Might
the
be able to get
electric-
some cheaper TT parts there.
There we go. There we go. So Nick doing his electrician work as usual. Plug. Now, I can remember watching your last race of the season in the TT and being absolutely heartbroken. We haven't got the clip for this, but I remember watching it live, and to my recollection, it was a Honda Civic, Nick's favourite car, that maybe got his braking a bit too late and caused this.
Mm.
Oh,
That's a big dent.
oh,
That is
oh!
painful.
Wow.
All the tea cut in the world.
Ain't getting
So-
that out.
Oh, that's
So that was the last round of the season, Nick. So tell
Yeah.
us. So what's it looking like for the car going forward? Was there much damage to the chassis rails, anything like that?
So drive straight. I actually set my fastest up the day after that because we carried on and had my best finish. So in terms,
Leave it like that then.
yeah,
leave it. It's done.
just need to get rid of that rule that cars must be presentable and all that jazz. But no,
I wouldn't worry about that. Definitely wouldn't worry about that.
drive
It's a race
time. We've just put a new door on it just to see how far out it is, and it is very far out. But hopefully it will pull out on a jig. Worst case scenario, we'll have to reshell it, but I really don't want to do that. It's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is all the cage bolted in there, or is it? Is it all
Yeah, it is a
bolted in?
bolting cage. So
Oh, it's still hassle though, isn't it?
yeah, it's just hassle, and then it's kind of like I say, it's been my car for 7-8 years. If I swap it over it, then it's just another car.
It's just
Yeah,
just another TT.
Yeah, just another hairdresser car. So.
Ah,
Back with the hairdresser car comments again. Okay, so that kind of rounds up your half of the season in Roadsport. So your plans for next year, a bit more of the same?
Yeah, I think so. Possibly.
There was a hesitation there.
There's
Come
a
on.
lot of
Ooh.
hesitation.
I'm in the middle of exploring options.
Ooh.
Working with, I think you guys are associated with Jess Shanahan, Racing Mentor.
Yep.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm on one of her courses at the minute. Just if that goes well, maybe we'll be racing something different.
Which it will.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee when working with Jess.
Well, could we just segue into that course? Would it be this by any chance, the Sponsorship Success Academy?
That would be the one.
That would be the one. So, yeah, I believe we're doing a deal with the Sponsorship Racing Academy at the moment, aren't we, gents?
Yes, we are. Yeah, if you want to, as Nick has mentioned there, he's doing the Sponsorship Success Academy. If you'd like to be a part of that, head to our website. There's a link on there. I think there's 3 different packages you can do. I think the top level one currently is closed because it is one you attend, so they do them as a course basis. So when it opens up again, then you can apply. But if you are a member of Clubracing UK, there is a discount code. So head to the members bit and you'll find it. Nick, I suppose you didn't use that discount code, so unlucky.
No comment. I've been working with Jess for a while, so I don't care.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Here you go, ladies. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be like Nick. Use our discount code.
But no, she would definitely help you with increasing your opportunities and success with finding sponsorship. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely have a look.
Now is the absolute prime time, isn't it? Let's be honest. Most race series, seasons, championships have now ended. I say most. And instantly now, everyone's already looking at 2022. I mean, Rob, you sent me your 2022 to-do list today. So everybody is already on 2022 plans. So if you're not already on, if you're not already thinking about next year racing and how to attract sponsors, then you need to get on this academy.
Well, that actually brings us on very nicely to our next advert. So, looking to plan ahead for next year, of course, you're going to need a calendar. Luckily enough, for £15 on the Clubracing UK website, Clubracing UK has one with some amazing sites.
Yes, we do.
Like February,
look, with boxes, as requested by all the ladies and gentlemen, boxes for writing important dates in.
All your important race dates, and then the garbage else to follow.
Exactly that. So we've got some lovely items in there, like February has Sam Pearce's EP3. May has the Renault Clio. We've got a few Marshalls in there as well, more Renault Clios. We've got a really sexy car in for October. And we've got some more Marshalls actually for the first month there. Giving a big shout out to our Orange Army there. So there we go.
Should just point out, guys, these are a limited print only. So once they are gone, and they are selling like hotcakes. So
be quick
if you want one, and we've made sure they've been released earlier this year, so they can be ready for Christmas. If you want to buy your loved one a Christmas present, our calendar is fantastic for that.
Just won't fit in the stocking.
Yeah. The problem is if I bought my missus a Clubracing UK calendar for Christmas, she'd call me an arsehole, say, "Is that it?" and probably throw me out.
Yeah, but she'd give it back to you, so you technically just got one.
She'd throw it at you. And then you'd be like, "Get out!" And then you can just go and work on the race car. Winner, winner.
Win.
That's a very good point. Okay, well, I think it is time to introduce our second special guest to round out the second part of Nick Gough's season. Of course, in the Silver Lake C1 Endurance Series. We've seen him on the show a couple of weeks ago. It is Robin Welch of the C1 Racing Club. Good evening, Robin.
How are you?
Whoa, as if by magic. Look at that.
Magic.
As if by magic, it's not as if Robin has been waiting very patiently behind the scenes for the past 45 minutes.
I've been watching George Clark's Old House, New Home, actually, so it's all right.
Yeah. If you want to go back and
finish it off.
Yeah, that's all right. I've been taking notes on the comments as well. Rob, you're going to get called names by your missus anyway, so you may as well just get her to buy you a calendar because you're going to get called names regardless. Nick Gough's in trouble because his missus and her friend, I can't remember their names, but they're always at his C1 meetings, and he didn't mention them in his
And he
team,
didn't mention them.
so he's in trouble.
Oh, you've been burned.
I don't think I've got anything for Nick and Steph, but
Hey,
continue.
It's because we're squeaky clean. That's why.
I did feel a bit nostalgic when we were talking about Nick racing something different, because if you remember, Rob, I used to race the 5 Series, the V8 5 Series. That was a bit weird and different, but people love that.
Did you?
I did.
I can remember that. That was absolutely mega car. That was. I'll have to dig out.
I need to see this. We need to
There's
talk
loads
more
of
about
pictures on my
this.
Facebook page. I'm sure Rob might be able to find one somehow with his technological wizardry. But yeah, everyone was racing like E36 3-litre M3s and stuff like that. And I read the rules and I was like, actually, I could race an E34 540 V8 in this. So I did. And it was competitive. Low 53s, brands Indy in a big old 5 Series.
Seriously, Nick, it was an absolute beast.
It was great. And it's just the noise of it. Like everyone commented on that car because they're like, it just sounds so good. It's
I want.
It does. It sounded so nice.
But the reason, where is it now?
James McIntyre crashed it so much that he had to scrap it.
Oh, what?
Because he bought it and raced it in Classic Thunder for a season, won the championship, but he crashed it so badly that he had to scrap it. Very sad.
Oh.
I'm sure that's not what we were meant to be talking about. Like.
That's well off subject, but it's racing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We're talking about racing and the unique cars you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the reason. Obviously, the reason that you are on the show today, Robin, and to sort of bring yourself in with Nick here is, of course, you run the C1 Racing Club, and Nick, you ran for the full season this year in your own car in the C1. So,
indeed,
I suppose we better get into it, really. So, okay, let's start with you, Nick. So, your C1 team.
Oh yeah.
That is perfection right there, isn't it? So why go with... I can kind of guess it would be for obvious reasons. You've tried one, so you wanted to run your own team. So why go with the C1?
Why not? I mean, like I say, I started off my racing career in that. I wanted to get Vince involved in racing, and I think it's, for me, probably the perfect series to start your racing career in. Yeah, as I say, they're not powerful, which means you have to get it right every time, otherwise you lose a lot of time. And it's affordable above anything else, isn't it?
That's it. That's bang on. Like, so we're going to delve into it in a bit that we had a go. Like I say, it's competitive, and as you say, as a starter series, it's fantastic, isn't it? This is you learn racecraft from a series like this, not just pour money into who can be the fastest. And if you've got money, you can make a car go fast. But something like this, Nick, the C1s.
Moarwin, Nick, have you noticed that you drive the TT better and more accurately since you've been racing the C1?
Yeah.
Because you've got nothing in a C1, you have to find every little bit. Everything. When I ever get in something fast now, I always find I drive it so much better because you're so used to finding every last little bit out of every corner and things like that.
Yeah, and the consistency as well. Every lap, you need to nail every single apex.
Yeah.
And every braking point.
I'm going to do a complete 180 turn on the conversation here, guys, because we have a comment in from Luca Proietti talking about watching something different. I'm watching Thor while listening to you guys. If you combine Steph, Rob, and Nick, I feel you might get Chris Hemsworth. I think the award for most random ass comment is got to be that.
What a comment!
Let's be honest.
I've got to Google.
He is a bit of a specimen, isn't he? Oh, Chris Hemsworth.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Are you googling Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah,
Steph.
Hemsworth.
Steph, are you some kind of tool?
Have you know what's more funny?
We'll just say Thor.
Google the Hemsworth twins or brothers, whatever they are. And there's like one really unfortunate brother.
Yeah.
There's like two that are good looking and one that just looks like some kind of dwarf. Quite sad.
So which one's which?
Everyone's now Googling that.
Yeah, he was. There we go. He was in Rush. Thank you. Motor racing film. James Hunt. He was. Oh God. Although Carl Barton does have a very good point here, Nick Gough. Thor's hammer would work on the TT cylinder.
I don't think even that's got enough in it.
The KA looks like it's been hit with Thor's hammer. I'll tell you that.
That's a very good point. Okay, well, the C1 didn't start off completely swimmingly, didn't it? Because I'm going to take you back to Snetterton, Nick.
You're just a barrel of bloody laughs tonight, aren't you, Rob?
Oh.
Well, no, because this was sent to me by Mr. Gough. So let's just play the tape of what happened in testing.
Oh, brakes go.
Yeah. Well, that's my first ever spin in a car.
I know what happened there.
You do know what happened there.
I do know what happened there.
Okay.
And I guess, and I've fixed this problem now, I reckon he had ABS ice mode.
ABS ice mode.
ABS ice mode?
It's terrifying.
Because it's not even a driver excuse. I'll let you explain it.
So he's gone round turn one. He's got pad knockoff. Then he's not known to give the brake pad a couple of little pumps. You hit the brake so hard, it shocks the ABS system. It thinks you're on ice. It pushes the pedal back up at you, and you've got no brakes. That's honestly terrifying. Now,
awesome.
it was only a problem. There's only a problem that we had with the original bushes on the car because the wishbones flopped around so much. That's why you notice on the did a regulation addendum allowing the Powerflex rear bush. And since we fitted those bushes, since we put those bushes on, no one's had ice mode. So it does seem to have solved the problem.
Wow.
But yeah, it's pretty terrifying. So it's definitely not Nick's fault.
Okay, well, to be fair, it does look. Now,
I was just going to say, you can't park there, mate.
Nah, definitely not his fault.
Now, unless you popped onto the track time feed today to talk about Donington Park, where there was a fair few cars that went off on the track obsession day today, there is another video to show us, Nick, from Donington. So explain this one as well.
Let's have a look.
Emax Motorsport, the pole-sitting car, the white car with the orange grille behind them. And somebody else has gone off there. That's 399 again. Moarwin Racing. They like that bit of grass, don't they? They've been across there once. Is it Josh again? Josh Wallace? No, it's Vince Fitter this time for Moarwin Motorsport. And that car going very slowly. It's the top of your screen. Exactly the same bit of track again. Spins around. Is he going to be hit? No, not quite. Just avoided there by one of the Silver Lake cars. And off onto the grass. Just clips the gravel, but trying to keep going.
Very close to being contact there. I think that's 399 again now.
Hopefully Vince Fitter can keep that car running.
Back onto the circuit. And Patrick Sharping has managed to
500.
So glad you put that in there.
I didn't actually mean that video, but as soon as we've brought it up, it's still Donington Park, but as soon as we've brought it up, what happened there, Nick?
So that was Vince behind the wheel. It's his first season of racing. I think I mentioned that.
Yep.
I think we had a bit of oil down.
Throw him under the bus.
we had a bit of oil down on pretty much the whole track.
Whole track and the pit lane as well.
Yeah. And Craners was just a twitchy rear end. And it just caught him out.
That was actually, though, because he was on the normal line. If he was on the wet line on the outside, which I've noticed Stef does a lot, I'm watching a lot of your onboards, he wouldn't have done that. So you need to teach Vince some wet lines or get Stef to show him a thing or two.
Maybe 10 minutes afterwards.
Do you mean Stef that's faster than you in the C1, Robin? You mean that Stef? That's Stef over there.
Yeah, that one.
There we go.
That's fine.
Right.
Get that one in there at least once.
But do you want the other video now?
We're getting the same car next time, and that will put that to bed.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Blaming the tools.
I can't though because they're all the same.
I like this. Okay, let's play the other video. Let's try and explain this one, Nick.
So that was Josh doing exactly the same thing.
The hour see it happening. He just turned in on the normal line. No, don't turn yet. No.
Yeah.
They're wide.
Yeah. Still the fastest hairdresser.
I'm seeing a pattern here. You keep blaming everyone else in your team by you.
Well, I don't spin. I just have break.
Now we have got a bit of an admission here, Nick. Vince has contacted us because, right on cue, get it? He's at the snooker tonight.
Need that app again.
Now he did send us some video from the British Grand Prix, but unfortunately StreamYard doesn't like Apple videos. But he did send us this.
Hey, look at that.
So what's going on here?
You weren't expecting this, were you?
No, I wasn't. Wild Woodlands, that is. That one was PG rated. I know which video he probably sent you, and no one wants to do that.
Was it a bit of
that? Yeah, you've got to let your head out once a year.
I thought they were getting ready for their next pit stop, getting the safety gear on.
Yeah. Next season.
That would be funny.
Oh, please make that mandatory, Robin.
Well, you got to wear stupid masks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So yeah. He also wanted us to ask you about a Senna quote you've got tattooed on your ribs or something along that.
Yep, I do have what many refer to as a verse written on my ribs. I'm not going to get it out. Don't worry. It was painful, and that's all that needs to be said. Let's move along.
Okay, we'll move on from. Well, I mean, you can give Vince a kick up the backside if need be, but he had to get that out.
I think. Do you know what? I think the funniest thing was we announced that you were coming on the show, Nick, and I think 30 seconds later he was straight on it. Here's the video. Yeah. Here's this.
Making it rain.
Yeah, making it rain with some. Yeah, we've learned a thing or two about you. That's for sure.
He didn't send you those pictures, did he?
Maybe. No comment. That's going in our personal folder.
Keeping them for next year.
We've got some picture highlights here as well. I mean, Alton Park leading a race for the first time. That's got to really be up there.
Yeah, that was. I won't lie to you. I did got a bit emotional in the car behind the safety car. Just, I know it was only leading a lap, but for the first time, it was just, I don't know, it was just a big event.
And your best qualifying as well.
And our best qualifying, that was, I've got a bit of a confession that day. I was a right mardy bastard when I got out of the car after qualifying. Josh got our fastest lap, and Vince come over and told me I was 9/10 off of his lap, and I was furious because I was thinking, where the fuck am I going to find that much time? And what he meant was 9,000. Yeah, which kind of, I was happy with that. Sorry. Yeah, so yeah, a great qualifying session, and a great race from there. Really, it was good fun. It was good fun starting so far at the front for the first time.
I'm going to give you a chance to redeem yourself as well, and see if you haven't forgotten any of the team members here. So we've got the picture here up. Are we missing anyone out
from the team?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've not got Andy or Ollie in that day.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we haven't forgotten about them. Obviously, as we know from the videos, Donington was very moist.
Yep.
Very, very moist.
So more than mildly moist that day.
Yeah.
Very moist. And then we go to Brands, the last round. And you get that result.
Yeah, so that was our first top 10 in the C1s. And yeah, we just, race pace, we're pretty good. It's just getting the pit stops right, and we just aren't getting the pit stops right more than anything. I think we were running as high as P2 at Brands, and just, yeah, I don't know how we ended up in P8, but we'll get there. I think next season it will change. I know there's some rule changes coming in. I don't know if you want to say anything about that, Robin? Or Not?
Pit stop stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it's safety ground, so we're all good with that. I've had to be careful on the wording because it's super hard to get it right. But essentially, we don't want everyone pitting under safety car anymore. I've not managed to say the exact words of you cannot pit under safety car, but the curveball I've thrown in there for if you do come into the pits under safety car makes it very much not worth your while. So you'll all have to wait for the rules to come out to see that. But basically, you're not going to, when the safety car comes out next year, we're not going to see 44 cars dive into the pits at the same time.
Bundling into the pits at the same time.
Yeah, if they actually read the rules, this is, some people still do it, but the people that actually read the rules and understand the consequence of that, it's not going to be worth it.
Ooh.
So what that does encourage, though, is teams to practice their pit stops because you're going to be more beneficial pitting under a live circuit. So then it actually shows who's actually a good complete team rather than just a team that might have 2 quick drivers. Well, that's no good if you come into the pits and then you take 4 minutes rather than 3 minutes to do your pit stop, or even 3.5 minutes rather than 3 minutes. You got to nail these pit stops down to the second or half a second, like you would try on the circuit, and that's really what.
And that is a challenge. That is a challenge.
It's a real challenge, but that's where the team need to be practicing that. Your wing guys need to be practicing that, and get that pit stop team as slick as you would as a driver, and that's where you then. I think that's what Nick was saying. He's struggling with that side of it a little bit. Nail that, and the rest of it's easy.
Yeah, you can take a second a lap off your lap time, but then if you lose 30 seconds in the pits, what's the point?
Yeah, if you drop one wheel bolt, drop a wheel bolt, or do something silly like that, or get a penalty for something stupid, well, that's your race over. So,
well, talking to pit stops, Stef didn't. Was it? I can't remember now. Who was it that did a pit stop this year? And they were like something like 0.075 seconds too short of the pit window. Was it us in the KAs last year?
Was it the KA? Yeah, it was, yeah.
You had a 4-minute pit stop. We pitted it.
We did.
3 minutes 59 seconds .015 or something like that. So we had a short pit stop. And you pinged for it.
No minimum pit stop time in a C1 because that's what half endurance racing is all about. It's about the pit stops. It's about the team working together.
Yeah.
So that's why we got no minimum pit stop time.
Well, we go to your best result here, Nick. P8. Now, what can you say about the car that was chasing you down in the past hour?
Dodgy.
Very dodgy.
Questionable driving.
Yeah.
And that was just when Robin was chasing down Vince. So I was on the pit wall for that, obviously. Vince was in the car, and we could just see Stef in the Amiga Motorsport C1 chasing him down lap after lap. And I was looking at it, I thought, 3 laps from the end, he's going to be on his back, and at 2 seconds a lap, you're going to get past him. And then we had a bit of help with that, and you didn't get past. So
wow, I did get past, but then the red flag came out.
You don't want to admit to getting past, believe me.
Do you know what the funniest thing about that was? We could see us. We were like, we're coming for you lot, and I could see you all on the pit wall, and you were so engrossed on the wall that I jumped. You didn't even realise I jumped up behind you, did you?
No.
I jumped up behind you and I was like, I'm coming for you. It was brilliant.
Well, in case you haven't guessed by now, Stef and Nick were so enamoured by the C1 Racing Club and, of course, driving in the EnduroKa series for the past 2 years, they thought they'd hire a car from Amigo Motorsport and try it out for themselves. So, this little speed demon took on the Brands Hatch 3-hour race as the Amigo Motorsport with Clubracing UK car with Nick and Stef at the wheel. So, guys, how did you find it and how did you get on?
It was awesome. I mean, we got to say a massive thank you to Amigo Motorsport for helping us out with the car and running us for the day. They did an awesome job. As always, a professional outfit of the Arrive and Drive team. So, huge thanks to them. The car was absolutely mega as well. To be fair, it was, you know, we'd never driven one, but jumped in it, and it was a really good setup. It went really well, strong engine.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
happy days.
It was a very good weekend, wasn't it? I mean, Neil Ashcroft says here, Steph, imagine if you hadn't got nicked speeding in the pit lane, Steph.
Well, yeah. The thing is, we had in the race, obviously, Nick got done for speeding because he's a numpty. And also we had a puncher.
Hey, look, actually, look. Actually, in my defence, right, I didn't realise the C1 speed limit was as low as it was.
That's a good point, because it's not like we have two massive, great big 40km/h signs at the beginning of the pit lane.
And
easily missed them.
we did.
Ignore
we have,
them. And there's a line on the speedo that the car was in. But anyhow,
there was a line on the speedo, and we have actually mentioned it in a previous podcast that they changed the speed limit to suit Nick. But don't worry, mate, it happens.
But we did, yeah. So Nick
it happens to the best of us. Look, I was so excited and I was enjoying myself so much that I just came in too fast.
When I
you
got
came in too fast. But
I wouldn't be the first man to come too fast now, would I? Let's be honest.
But I must say that the cars are awesome. The racing, especially, was awesome. I think on both of our parts, that the whole race, the driving standards and the racecraft, everyone we were racing was spot on. It was great fun. Again, it was great that, you know, stuff like there was no radios, so it was all on pitbull. We had a strategy before we went out to do, because obviously you had to do 3 stops. We don't actually need to do 3 stops. So there was a good strategy that Amiga Motorsport come up with to get the dummy stops in and stuff like that. It just made it interesting. It made it good fun, and you know, it was a great day. So the cars are really lively to play with, just on the throttle with the oversteer and understeer and stuff like that. It you know, takes a bit. You know, it was slow cars, but it still takes a lot of skill to try and get them to go around fast.
Yeah.
So
they got the right grip level for the speed that you're going at.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what? That's exactly what I said. It was, again, I know we've done it quite a bit with the whole comparison of the 2 mini enduro series, but I very much liked the fact that it was the right, as you said, Robin, the right amount of grip. You know, it is a slow car. Don't get me wrong. What, they 950cc?
Yeah,
you're not breaking a land speed record driving one of these cars. But if you go into a corner too fast, or it'll start to try and rotate on you. You do get the old understeer, you do get the oversteer. So you do have to use throttle control and you know, brake where you need to. You can't just throw these things into a corner; they just stick and go. You do have to have a little bit of, you know, driving them well will reward you with a good result. It's as simple as that. And I really enjoyed that. And for me, I mean, I took the race start. I love race starts, and I love the fact that for my entire stint, you know, jumping in and out for safety cars and stuff like, I didn't get touched once. You know, I was nose to tail, door to door with about 7-8 cars at one point, and not a single one of us touched, or nobody touched me. And I think the only tiny little knock I got was it was the minutest little thing. And we were all laughing and giggling when we were coming out of Graham Hill afterwards. It was just, yeah, I thought it was bloody fantastic.
What I also loved was in qualifying, where we qualified 15th, but we were 7/10 from pole position. So, and I think it was crazy close, second to 25th. So how close all them cars are is just, it was really good. It shows how good that the cars and the rules are to make them as close racing as they are, I think. So I thought it was brilliant, to be honest.
Again, not tit for tat or anything like that, but as we're quite aware in another series, there is quite a disparity between a few cars and the rest of the field and things like that. But that's my personal opinion.
From my technical background, that's something I insisted on really getting hold of very, very early on. You know, we've spent a lot of money on eligibility tools, and we check if you're on the podium in a C1 race, your car is going to get torn down, and it's well known and accepted now. And to be fair, it's only been positive feedback from everyone. No one's got arsey at me when I've asked them to take the valve cover off or gearbox or check anything. They're just like, yeah, cool. So it's, everyone wants to know that everyone's racing on the same level.
Yeah, but then that if you know you're on a field for the people with the same car, you're all going for a race.
I think the times show that as well, as Stef said. If you look at the qualifying times, that says everything. The times are so close.
We were P12 and 0.2 seconds off of P3.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's crazy.
It's insane. But it's having a series that's that close that people will learn their racecraft in. You could be. Well, look, I'm going to be slightly biased here. It's the first, right? I lie. We had a little taster go at Silverstone at MSD Live, didn't we, Steph?
We did, yeah.
In one of the Silver Lake cars, but Brands Hatch was literally our first ever race in a C1.
Well, you only got one teach at Silverstone, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but we got a little go in it, and that numpty in the far corner over there ended up being the fastest driver out of 45 cars. And now some people might say I'm probably dragging this on a little bit, but he was the fastest driver of the weekend. He'd never driven one. And you've got seasoned pros like Nick, who wasn't as fast. You have an organizer who wasn't as fast. You even had an ex-touring car driver in Patrick Watts, who wasn't as fast.
What can I say?
I mean, that says it all, doesn't it?
I was massively impressed when we saw that, and I saw he got fastest lap. I wasn't surprised because you can obviously drive, and Gaffers puts together a good car, but it was good to see
he does
how quick you got a hold of the car and how quick you could gel with it to really trust the car. Because you've really got to commit, especially to Paddock Hill on one of these cars. You have to really commit and let the car move massively to get these times. So it was quite good to see that you were confident enough to do that straight away.
I must admit,
go on, Nick.
I was going to say there was one moment where I did commit to Paddock Hill into all of the inside curb, and I shit myself because I thought I was going to end up in the bottom upside down because I came in a little bit too early.
Oh dear, Nick.
I saved it.
Saved it. That's what it's all about. These things happen. It's racing.
Cam Tunio comments, Stefan has been on it. It's all the anger of the mini failures. We're going to come to that shortly.
He's not wrong.
It's certainly a hot topic. Well, guys, so obviously you're going to so you found the C1 racing debut at Brands very pleasurable then.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant.
Fantastic.
Do you know what I really liked? Do you know what I actually, last point of it, do you know what I really enjoyed? And for anyone who's listening who's and ahhing about it, I loved the arrive and drive element.
Yeah.
It was so nice.
It was
just
good, yeah.
Leisurely rocked up in Stef's car, rocked up with our little bag of gear. And then next minute, the car rocked up, trailer, everything, Gaffers and Amigo Motorsport and his team of Joel and his dad, John, just rocking up, doing all the work for us. Bloody fantastic.
A lot to be said for it.
We put all our stuff back in the box at the end of it and bucketed off home.
Yeah. See you later, pal.
That was mint.
Yeah.
That I enjoyed.
So basically, the best bit of the weekend was you being lazy.
Yeah.
You say that. It allowed us to just, I don't know. I mean, it allowed us to relax. Whether or not it was just because we were in a new area, a new paddock. I mean, everyone was nice and friendly again, as per. But yeah, I don't know. It just seemed to relieve a bit of the stress of not having to worry about doing your own thing, doing your own car. You could just focus on just the racing. And maybe that helped towards the result we got. But it was good. Highly recommend.
We were mega pleased with the. Would we get P9 in the end?
Yeah.
So we always go into nearly every race saying P10, but half the time it's wishful. But we were mega happy with the P9, especially with Nick speeding and our puncher.
Technically, it was P8, wasn't it? Because we did finish in front of the Moarwin guys. We did finish in front of them.
I'm sure that would be disputed if it went any further.
Oh, I'm sure. Liam Browning comments, City Car Cup checks aren't that brilliant post-season. He's also asking what's been tested EnduroKa wise, engine teardown wise. I'll be honest, the weekend's just gone, so to be fair to them, we kind of know there's some stuff that's been taken away, but you just don't know this early in the stage, and unless you talk to teams.
As far as I know at the moment, in qualifying, after qualifying, I think it was top 5. The cams were checked, so I take the rocker covers off, and they checked all the cams with the numbers with the factory and measured them and stuff like that. And I believe after the race, the top 3 have had their ECUs removed and tested. So see what happens.
Yeah. So there are checks going on. Sorry, Liam's actually come back. Actually, he did mean the C1. So this is probably a question aimed at you, Robin. So what different checks can you carry out?
So if you're on the podium in any C1 race, you'll get what we call just the full check. So it's ECU check. Your valve cover will come off, and we've got a tool that one of our engineers has made, which goes down the plug hole, bolts to the cylinder head. We rotate the engine with the spark plugs out, and it gives us a reading on a DTI gauge, which gives us a theoretical compression height, which tells us, and we zero this tool on several engines that we strip to know the standard. So it tells us if the head's been skimmed or the block's been skimmed, or if any funny business like that's happening. So that's your first check. We've got, whilst the valve cover's off, we've got a tool which goes over the base circle of the camshaft, the lobe of the camshaft. We also check the VBT, because they've got inlet cam vanos on these engines. So we check that the cam only swings 40 degrees like it's meant to. Whilst you're there, we check the throttle body size. So we've got a tool that goes in the throttle body, check that size. Then we go underneath. We check the flywheel, so there's a little cover that you take off, and we've got a tool that slots in, checks the inside face of the flywheel, and then there's a hole in the gearbox where you can visually check the other side. Basic checks in that respect, but still a lot more than a lot will do. Every car that achieves a podium will get the gearing checked, so we've got a tool that we bolt onto. You jack one side up, bolt it onto the wheel, and there's a counter that magnetically attaches to the wing. And we rotate it, and as it goes through the gears, it will stop first, second, third, fourth, fifth. It will stop in the right place if you've got the right gearbox. We do random suspension checks. So we've had dampers taken off and sent off to check that they've not been revalved or anything silly like that. We're randomly checking dampers off just to check that the bump stops haven't been stacked up, because on a front-wheel drive car, if you could stack up the rear bump stops, you'd make the back stiffer. Front-wheel drive cars, probably an advantage to that, to get the thing a bit more stable at the back, but we make sure that doesn't happen. The springs are checked regularly, make sure they're seated right and the right way up. Various other things. We keep everyone on their toes with things that we check. So we check all kinds of weird and wonderful things randomly. Roll bar sizes, exhaust system, catalytic converter. So we check it with a heat gun just for a quick check, and then lambda sensor out, because you can then look straight down on top of it via a bore scope. And lots of other things I've got. Lots of other things I've got in my back pocket that I sort of surprise people with.
So, blimey, how big's your back pocket?
Very.
Yeah. Liam Browning, thanks very much. That was a very great in-depth answer. There we go. Cool. You can't get any fairer than that. Yeah. So,
this is it.
Your first full year in the C1s, Nick Gough, how have you found it?
That's been great. Just talking about the tests there that you do when you come back from lunch and find your car in pieces. Because
oh yeah, we've done yours, haven't we?
Yeah, you've done mine. Yeah. So I came back and just what's going on here then? What problem have we got? No, we're just checking out. Luckily, we were fine because we're a good honest team, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the season as a whole has been fantastic. We missed Croft and we missed Pembury, but aside from that, I think we raced with you 5 times, and it was just brilliant. It was as good as it was before, but even better than it was before, in fact. Yeah, and next year's calendar looks phenomenal.
Pretty good, isn't it?
There's not a round there where you go, oh, I missed that one.
Yeah.
I want to do it all.
Yeah, we tried to mix it up. You know, it's be a bit different.
Yeah.
Come on,
I
then.
see a holiday in the middle of that somewhere, haven't we?
What we got?
Yeah.
So I've got this off the top of my head now. You've not got the newsletter.
Oh.
Subscribe to the newsletter.
Come
Come
on.
on. Right, off the top of my head, starting off.
Oh, we
Snetterton
have,
5
but
hour.
we're just testing you now.
Okay, Snetterton 5 hour to start with.
Yeah.
Silverstone 24 at the Silverstone GP. Just second round. Then we are off to Anglesey for a 5 hour race into the night. So finishes at 11:30 on that one.
Yep.
Then we got Donington and Brands Hatch, which are 2 single 3 hours. Then we have got a double 3 one Saturday, one Sunday at Croft. And then we finishing off season with a double 3 at Snetterton. I think that's right.
You think? Okay, we'll go with
Nick?
that because
I haven't got the calendar with me, but I'm pretty sure that's it. So we try to mix it up with 2 5s, a 24, 2 single 3s because people kind of know where they're at with that, and 2 double 3s as well. So we can get the overnight element because I quite like the social. For me, club racing is it's about racing, but
Yeah.
I like the overnight stuff. I was a bit gutted that Nick and Stef didn't, and yourself, Rob, didn't come on the Friday night at Brands because you kind of have a chance to just chat with some people and just have a few beers. I love being there as an organizer because we just walk up and down the pit lane, me and Tom and the other boys at night, just chatting to all the teams and sit down in different camps and have a beer with people and just get to know everyone.
super. Well,
Yeah,
maybe we'll have to attend one of your race meetings next year just for the social element.
Perfect.
I'll be up
Please
for
do. Please do.
I'm up for that.
In other words, bring the beer.
We always do.
Wee.
lads, and all that crap. Anyway.
Lads.
Yeah, Carl Barton asks on YouTube, when will the tickets be live for spectators for the 24 and will camping be available?
Camping is available, So for spectators, we've got a specific grass area for camping. And as for spectator tickets, you know what? Just speak to a load of C1 teams. We've all got spare tickets. We want people to be there, so I'm sure we can get tickets to people if they need them. But they'll be available on the Silverstone website anyway as soon as entries are open. So hopefully middle of December we hope to get the 24-hour entries open.
Awesome.
Right, I think that's.
Hang on, Rob. Did you bring the comments whilst I was away on business?
Yeah.
Did you bring up the comment about how me and Nick decided the race start?
Would that be the rock, paper, scissors?
Yes, it was.
That's how you decide everything in life. That's the only way of doing it. I'm really proud of you. Well done. That's proper.
Yep. Rock, paper, scissors.
My wife decide
everything.
Yeah. It's just simple.
That's the rules.
Love it.
That's the rules.
I'll tell you what. It was, wasn't it? It was to and fro, and it was who's starting.
Who's starting? I don't
rock,
mind.
paper, scissors.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors. Yeah, that was funny.
It decides everything.
Yeah. Yep. Are we going to change the tyre in the stop? Oh, I don't know. Fuck it.
Rock, paper, scissors.
There you go, guys. With no air in it.
Yeah, you did peel one off the rim, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
There we go. Well, thank you very much for coming on, Robert. You are welcome to stay on for the rest of the show if you so wish. It's always nice to have a chat with you, mate.
Well, I've got nowhere to be.
There we go. Okay,
I've got Grand Designs on now, so it's all right.
Oh, you got Grand Designs. Oh, that can
be windows will be late. The windows are always late. That's the end of that story. Switch it off.
The windows are always late, and that
they are always late, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a big surprise.
Yeah, but I don't mind. The houses look good, but Kevin McLeod's just a boring old sod, and he likes TBR. So basically, he's just admitted he likes standing at the side of the road waiting for the AA.
I love Kevin and I love a TBR, so this is not ideal.
That's not ideal. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I'm still not Kevin McLeod's boring. I like a TBR, but
move on.
They break.
They do break, but they do really good drifts. Get a Griffith 500 on the motorway and sling it proper.
I feel like I'm really missing out on something here.
Have you ever watched Grand
Drifting.
Designs?
No, I have never watched Grand Designs.
Oh, the Grand Designs thing. So you got to talk about drifting a TBR thing.
Oh,
I don't watch mindless television.
Television.
I have to.
Crack on, Rob.
I'll crack on. Right, okay. As you get into
See, it's that boring. Nick's left. Nick's gone.
Oh no, Nick, where you gone? I think he's sorting the dog out. As you get into those cold winter months ahead of you, you're going to need to buy something to warm you up, be it a nice hoodie or a nice beanie or some sort of hat.
Nick's modelling one right now. Show us
Nick
the back,
is-
Nick.
I actually bought. Show us your back.
Yeah.
It's not the first time anyone's asked me that. I can't turn around that well. I can't turn around that well on this. Hold on.
Right, what is going on here?
Hold on. Everyone's going to see my crutch. There you go.
There we go.
Jesus Christ.
Any good?
Yeah, that's good, man. Yeah, you can turn back around now. Cheers.
It's
a good.
I'll turn back
good
around
model
now.
right there.
You don't have to pay £1.50 a minute for that kind of show.
Well, yeah.
Trust me, if I could get paid, if I could get paid for this, it'll work.
No, the problem with
Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Well,
I'll set it back up if anyone's genuinely interested. Let me know.
As Nick has so eloquently modelled there, Club Racing UK have, of course, their beanies and hoodies back on sale. If you want a beanie or a hat, that'll set you back a nice £14. If you want a nice comfy hoodie, that'll set you back £35. All on the Club Racing UK website, clubracinguk.
I'm just going to say right now, and I'm not at all biased, but I got this hoodie today, and I must say, Uncle Luke's have put a mega. This is like the comfiest hoodie I've ever owned.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And that's not a sales pitch. That is straight up. This is the nicest hoodie I've ever owned.
What's Uncle Luke's? They're a C1. They do C1, I think.
They used to.
They are a sign and sticker shop, but they do wicked stuff and they do most of our merch. So go tap them up.
One of my C1 people has got an Uncle Luke's email. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Probably done a livery on it.
If you are also interested in wearing a shirt that is oranger than Team Moarwins apparel, then you may be interested. Oh, don't give me that look, Nick. Don't give me that look. You may be interested in one of these bad boys or one of these bad boys. Of course, after the difficult events this year, we are supporting the Orange Army. So if you want to pick yourself up a shirt, £18 on the website, or get yourself a nice Club Racing UK sticker for £4. So
definitely.
Get yourself on the website.
Support your marshals. Support the Orange Army and also service crews and things like that.
Right.
While we're on support, while we're here, everyone that's watching, if you can hit the follow button, hit subscribe, hit the like button, tap a comment in. It's a little thing for you guys, but it means so much to us. So please,
yes,
just smash the like button or hit the subscribe, follow.
Even if you invite your nan along, honestly, trust me, she'll love it.
She will.
Just invite everybody. Tell your friends how good this is.
There we go. Right, we're going to move on to some more comments. Liam Browning is now banned from the show. You like focuses, but they break more than they race. I finished 4 out of 6 races this year, actually. He has got a point. He has got a point. Nick's outrage is... Nick's outrage is
broke the internet. What a mug.
He has properly broken the internet. Luca Proietti, you can tell the average age is over 35. Grand Designs. That's a very good point, actually. Phil Neal's called us a bunch of benders. That's coming from you, Phil.
Yeah, flip-flop wearing weirdo.
Yeah, James Stone Street, actually. His Focus is more reliable than the Mini. Well, we're going to move on to that. So, Steph, you know what we discussed earlier, a certain clip you're going to put up.
Yeah.
How did your race weekend go?
Well, let me show you.
Fuck!
That's how it went.
Well. That has not gone well, has it?
No.
I think that literally Now, bearing in mind that was on the Saturday, I think that literally summed up the Sunday as well, and it hadn't even happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It did.
So come on, we got to see it again. Actually, so Steph, sum up your weekend. Fuck! Okay, Mini TDC.
Sorry, just quickly. That is my favourite thing in the world. Abrupt swearing is just the best thing in the world.
Well, to sum it up, we went out qualifying. Matt went out first. Got some good laps in. Got a half decent lap time in, luckily enough. And then the supercharger belt come off for him again. Okay. But it happened just in clearway, so he managed to dive straight in the pits, get it in the garage. We managed to put another one on, so I could go out and get my laps in. I got my 3 safe laps in. We're cool. And then I went to push. And then coming out Graham Hill Bend, I lost all power. Turned out that the crank pulley, we'd gone back to the standard dampened crank pulley. The crank pulley, obviously it's rubber mounted, the rubber had split. So the crank pulley wasn't doing sod all. So I thought the supercharger belt was gone, but it was the crank pulley again. So
put another damper one back on it, or ideally put an ATI super damper on it, and you never have the problem again.
Well, yeah, cheers.
Well, that is a
well. Unfortunately, we do have an alternative view of your belt coming loose in qualifying. So if you just pay attention at clearways, we've got a clip here from my car with AJ at the wheel.
Oh yeah, hang on, let's make. Give me a moment. Where is it?
The show is going so smoothly.
Amazing.
I can't actually find it, Rob. Have you moved it?
Hang on. Now, you don't see it as much in that clip there, but the reason that AJ moved over to the right was because there were bits of belt. There was a big lump that flew in the road, but there was a bit of belt that actually flew up and clipped the windscreen at the top. It was throwing bits out the back. It was throwing bits out the back.
It wasn't me, but
not that you could crack it any more than you could, but
yeah,
unfortunately,
that was for you.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So that was the end of qualifying. I think we qualified. I don't remember.
Fifth in
class, something like that. But we had a big job on our hands. Luckily, Justin from Vehicle Tech Mobile was with us again. Our legend mechanic that goes around with us racing all the time. Obviously, we were messing around because we had the KA that had to go down to go on a rolling road. We had to go get weighed for the KAs and all sorts of stuff in between qualifying of the Mini and the race of the Mini. Nick also was driving the KA down there and getting that done. So we were messing around doing all that. So Justin was working his little socks off. And we just managed to get it fixed out in time when I was pretty late to the assembly area getting in to the point where...
You were the last car in, I think.
Yeah, well, I had Justin who races his EP3 pop by. He's like, "You going out, lads?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going." He's like, "You need to get your foot down and get round there." I'm like, "I'm going." So we managed to get round there. Pretty much went straight out. Did well. We were going all right. We had a good start. I don't know what position we got up into, to be fair, but I was up there chasing the Class B cars, and we're in Class C, so we were doing all right. And then
I think you're underplaying that a little bit, Stef. You're underplaying that a lot, actually.
Well, it's hard because I was in the car, so I'm just pedaling.
You were bloody flying, catching those Class B cars. Bearing in mind they're Clio Cup cars, and there was a JCW Mini in there as well. So you shouldn't downplay it as much as you really are, because you were flying.
Just modest in here.
The Brands Hatch Master over there, as he's been dubbed now.
You're putting a too big a target on my back now. But no, I don't know. It's about 12, 30 minutes into the race. Obviously, it's a 45-minute race, so it was about 12, 30 minutes coming up the paddock hill. Car started misfiring. I went through paddock out of gear, got the Druids, and then thought maybe the core pack had gone or something like that. So I was like in my mind trying to get back to the pits, coming down Grand Mill, stuck it in third, and it was just making all many noises. Looked in the rearview mirror, a lot of smoke came out the back, so switched it off, pulled out the way. Turned out we blew the engine up, lost compression all 4 cylinders, and then when we tried messing around with it, we blew the rocker cover off in the garage. So it's proper dead. That's the end of that engine. Unfortunately, I've uploaded the video on YouTube. For some reason, the last clip goes quiet. Well, it loses audio. I don't know if that's because of the amount of swearing I was putting in YouTube. It's just gone no. But yeah, you can tell my frustrations at the end. But you can hear it misfiring going down a hill, and then for some reason it cuts the audio out. But yeah, so
nobody wants to hear a Mini
dying. No.
Dying. No one needs to hear that.
Definitely not. So that was.
Or you crying.
No, not tears. But it's just gutting for the team, and obviously for Matt, the driver. Once again, I've gone out. I've got 15 minutes in the car, and then he's sat there and got sod all again. So it's one of them. Where hopefully.
So if anyone would like to buy an R53 Mini, never finished a race or rallied.
Yeah. It's finished 2 rounds. We got a second. Come on.
Right, yeah, true. There. It was raining.
It was. I don't care if it was raining. As Robin said, I've got a good wet line, so trophy.
If you're going to take that Mini engine out, put a Honda engine in it. No more problems.
Oh, wow. That's...
K-swap the world.
It's the answer.
Right, we got a couple of comments here. Max Coates has joined the show. The Max Coates, I've got an R53 Mini. Wicked car.
Can I have your engine?
James Stone Street, Focus roaring well. Matt Cleary, fucking hell, Rob's cars just blew my TV speakers up.
Yeah, it was quite loud.
It is quite loud. Phil Neal, Phil Neal, where's that comment gone? Nothing wrong with flip-flops, Nick. Sorry, only just tuned in. You can listen, Nick, just for your advice there, Phil. If you could just pop over to YouTube, you can listen back to the beginning later on. James Stone Street, for all the piss taking, Stef, I hope you get another engine sorted and can finally get it sorted. I think everyone does, to be fair, mate. So.
To be fair, it's got to a point now, isn't it, where I think everybody's behind the team and getting that Mini.
It's just fucking embarrassing. I mean, the season we've finished 2 races out of 6, so it's been pretty embarrassing. And I think even in them qualified sessions, we've had issues. So it's something we need to.
That's the worst thing, isn't it? Is for anyone who obviously sees it DNF, you think, it's not finished. But I can vouch. Obviously, it's not my car. I don't deal with it. But I know these boys work their bloody socks off to try and overcome this problem, and it just keeps reoccurring. I mean, I don't know. They need a break.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. You've tried how many different pulleys this year? 3, 4, 5, 6 different pulleys.
Different
belts,
tension arrangements, different
everything.
Idlers, different.
It just keeps pulling itself to pieces. It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
I think it's bizarre. The engine, so hopefully the engine blown up sorted it.
As bizarre and as cursed as it sounds, maybe putting another engine in there may
solve the
issues.
Honda. No.
I bet all the Civics finished all the races, didn't they?
Well, yeah. Max Coates, Sam and I are watching in the Graves truck at Donington. Good luck in testing tomorrow, guys. My stream was ahead of Sam's standard procedure. Phil Neal, same as Robin said. A new super damper pulley, if not a K20 with a charger. Sam agrees. Max Pierce, even your internet connection is faster. David Ells, getting the car built and turning up is a big enough achievement. We've got a couple of images here of qualifying, actually, because that was us both out together. Probably the first time.
It was.
Wait,
first time we've been ahead.
That's a cool picture.
This is qualifying. I think AJ's in my car and Matt's in the Mini. So
I'm gonna say it's Stef, and obviously I support in both of these cars. At least they finished the bloody race.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've got nothing to say. Nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
it was flying and then died. So,
as someone that has had issues at brands while doing a pretty good drive at Full Power Live earlier in the year, I completely understand how you're feeling, because it's a shit feeling. No one wants to feel like that.
And like I say, that's the most frustrating thing about it, is that car has shown it's got some serious potential when it's menacing the Class B Clio Cup cars, for instance.
It's even a thing, look.
You know,
what?
Just Googled R53 K swap. It's actually a thing. You can buy a kit and everything. Just do it.
There we go. So the Mini is going to be out next year with the K20 fitted to it.
I'll do it for you. Just get an engine.
If anyone would like to sponsor the Clubracing UK Mini to have a K swap, please get in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, Nick would love that, because that would be like driving an EP3. And we know how Nick loves those. Phil Neal, when do I get to drive your Focus, Rob? We'll book a track day at the turn of the year.
But if anyone wants to watch the video, just head over to our YouTube channel. It's on there of the race start. And
Rob, what was it you said to me? When Phil can drive his own Focus, he can drive yours.
When did I say that? Or are you?
I'm just stirring the pot.
Are you just sat there with a big spoon you're winding up for? I'll tell you what. When you see Phil's car, I don't think you've seen anything wider in your life. It's going to be a serious weapon when he gets the engine done and the front end modification.
Cool. I love his car.
Yeah, he reckons he'll be out in modified Fords in 2023, but we're going to drag his ass out next year. So we'll see you back out there, Phil.
Yeah.
Nick, my car finishes races, says Phil. Well, so does mine, actually. I've got to give a shout out, actually. The Graves Motorsport guys, in particular, Sam Pearce, came and helped set the car up on Friday. We sorted the camber out and we got the car out in qualifying. The day was actually started at 6 a.m. with a rather panicked phone call from my teammate AJ Howe, God bless him. His Mondeo had broken down on the M11 on the way to the circuit. So he's
standard Ford.
Yep. So he's put it in a hospice car park, jacked the front of it up, got the water pump off, and then my mum went and picked him up and brought him to circuit. He jumped in the car straight into qualifying, put in a really good time. I then jumped in the car in qualifying, and we had a problem, which we sorted. It just turned out to be alternator connection had come away, so it wasn't charging the battery.
It was a new problem, though, wasn't it?
It was a new problem. Main thing. It's lots of little teething things, which is effectively what this year has been. But we got out of the race. I started the race. Could feel myself dropping back a bit. I wasn't as quick as I should have been. And just felt the car dropping back a bit. So when it came to the pit stop window, I knew AJ was quicker in the car that weekend. So I decided to pit early. But that was my mistake, because 2 laps later, the safety car came out and we had a lot of cars going ground on us. So unfortunately, we finished, I think it was 8th in class, 25th overall. So we did finish quite low down. But we finished. Car got to the end and actually finished.
Without a coolant issue.
Without a coolant issue.
Finally.
Without a coolant issue. So, yeah. But although, to be fair, 6 races entered in TDC this year. We've finished 4 of them. Found lots of issues that we've cured. So the plan is, over the winter, get a new gearbox in it, sort some other bits out on it, make it go a little bit faster, and go out testing.
Nice.
Simple as that. Don't be too bored, Nick. Phil Neal as well says, Nick, check your WhatsApp. He's obviously sending you nudes again.
You can't check it whilst he's on this, I'm afraid.
I can't.
Oh no!
I'm also on Do Not Disturb, so I'll pick it up tomorrow morning.
There we go. Right. So from Saturday, so that's finished our respective TDC seasons off. You guys participated in the EnduroKa finale, didn't you? So how did that go?
Yeah, so that's the end of the show tonight, everyone. We'll see you next 2 weeks. Yeah.
Well, Saturday, we had the qualifying Saturday evening. For us, I think that went pretty well. Qualified 13th. The cars felt as good as it's felt in a long time. Timing wise, not sure, but we weren't that far off. Obviously, there's a couple of cars that the elite time group, should we call? But we weren't off too far off the pace of the rest of the cars. So we was pretty happy with that.
And we should just point out, actually, your time was done on Toyos as well, which makes it equally impressive with all the rubbish Yoko crap that was involved.
For anyone that doesn't know, that because of the Suez Canal issue, they couldn't get the Toyo tyres that we use, so they amended it so they allowed a Yokohama tyre, which turns out to be a lot faster than a Toyo tyre. Since then, the issue has been resolved with the Toyo tyre, but the Yokohama tyres have been allowed to the end of the season, which has allowed a significant time advantage in qualifying. Round brands, the Yokohamas are useless during the race because they burn out too quick, but in qualifying, they're pretty epic. But we have resisted the urge to go to Yokohamas and stay true to the Toyo tyres of the championship.
Toyo tyres.
So we got 13. But again, that's pretty good pace for what we can do.
We weren't a million miles off a pole, though, were we?
It was tense. It wasn't. It was. I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it was. 7-8 tenths. It was pretty close. Again, I say the elite group, which see you later. And then we went into
faster than anyone else.
Yeah. And then we go into Sunday. Started well.
Hold on.
Go on.
Before the start, what was the plan, Stef?
The plan that was drummed into all team members was to keep rotating, keep the nose clean, stay out of trouble, don't get any penalty points, and the race will come to us towards the end, like it has done in other races.
It's an 8-hour race, ladies and gentlemen. The race will come to us. If the move is not on, back out. Just keep rotating. I believe it was drummed into everybody.
It was
several times.
Unfortunately for us, one of our team members obviously wasn't listening.
So what happened, Stef?
Or listened to our previous podcast.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, is
no.
What do you mean no? Is he gone?
Well, this is awkward.
We say no, but I don't know what no for.
My internet's been shit.
Nick's internet has been absolutely shit. Okay, so going into the race.
No,
go on, Nick. Say it before you die again.
Carry on.
You want me to carry on now?
No, carry on. My internet's being crap. Yes.
Anyhow, yeah, so the race started. The first 20 minutes, really good, to be fair, for the entire race. All the start was really good. Driver standing wise and everything else, and then it just descended from there, really. Cut the safety car started coming out for various reasons, and then our team member decided to. It's hard when you see it from different angles. It's hard to explain on here, but anyway, trying to overtake a back marker, he's tapped him from the rear in paddock, which has then sent him into a spin, and he's then hit him in the door, which has then made him roll into the paddock gravel, and then spun us round. Yeah,
Chris Pratt roofed crash, penalty, crash, fix.
Yeah, so then obviously he had to come in. We had some damage. We had to repair. We went back out. We got called up to the steward's office. They showed me the CCTV and said you're getting a 1-minute penalty. I couldn't argue it. I tried, but the footage is pretty damning. So we had the 1-minute penalty. And then after that, the safety car, he overtook before the safety car line. So we got another penalty for that. He stayed out there.
That needs to be a topic. Actually, that would have to be a podcast topic next year.
It's a strange. I mean, Rob's been done with it before, but so the safety car lights go out, so you can go racing. this is at Brands. We've seen it a few times. So the green flag starts showing. Obviously, we've got a 45 car grid, so the tail goes back quite a long way. Once the safety cars
from the start line, and the green flags go all the way around the circuit. So even if you're effectively on the safety car lap,
when you pass the green flag,
no, it didn't for us. It started at clearways, so the green flag.
The first green was at the top end of clearways.
Yeah, so you had green flags from clearways down, so then people started overtaking through clearways. I mean, it wasn't just us that got punished for it.
We weren't the only ones.
The safety car rules do clearly state that you cannot overtake until you cross the start-finish line.
100%.
So, irrelevant of what the flags say, those that read the rules will understand that.
I think it's just when you're in that moment, it gets confusing. You see a green flag, and you're so far behind, you haven't received the safety car guy, and you see a green flag, and then in that moment, you just go for it.
See, now I totally agree with the fact that it says it in the rules, but if that's the case, why is there a green flag being waved at clearways?
As we stated, because it did change, we stated this issue, and I believe a few other teams did, and from there out, there was no green flag until you got to the start line.
So we're saying when the safety car's gone, it should be green flags from the start-finish line onwards.
No, so we were having green flags from clearways onwards, which was confusing people. But I completely get that, in the rules it says safety car line. But that's what's happening.
Guys, just quickly, I have to interject here because Nick Gough looks worried. And I think he's got a reason to. We have a young lady that's commented into the show, Katie Ramsey. Off topic, but can I just say thank you to Robin for giving me a shout out tonight as a valuable member of Team Moarwin from for now, Mrs.
Oh dear!
I said you're going to get in trouble for that.
You better get in that kitchen, son, and start cooking a nice meal.
I missed a subtle hint there to name her in a team photo, apparently.
Yeah, you did.
Rob did give you another chance to do that.
Rob gave you a chance.
Yeah.
I don't do subtle hints.
You were stood there with a baseball bat wider than me. I lobbed that ball up, ready for you to hit it out of the park. And you dropped the bat. But it's okay. We'll move on from this. Hopefully all is well. Katie, he has decided on the show tonight he'll take you out for a nice meal. Anyway. Sorry. Had to be done.
It's going to be the most slap bang meal going as well. It's really nice. 5-star restaurant.
Yeah, glammed up, best dress. We've decided on
maybe a little hotel stay as well.
Yeah,
spa day for the day. He's going to do the lot for you.
Everyone loves a spa day. I hear Belgium is lovely.
Next year's racing budget.
Yeah. She knows she's going to get the hotel just outside Brands Hatch or something like that. That's about as good as it's going to get.
And she's come back. It's her birthday.
To be fair, the one girl who would appreciate a spa day in Belgium, that's her.
There we go. There we go.
Winner.
David Elms as well. Gold coated steak. He's like, oh dang. I like it. Anyway, chaps, we've had that digression now. Thank you for coming into us, Katie. So we'll carry on with the EnduroKa race, Stef.
Yeah, so all that happened, and then there's a couple of back markers that were fighting for position a bit too hard, shall we say, which they both entered into a contact and a spin, which then Matt got caught up in, which caused severe damage to our car. It got stuck in the assembly area, wouldn't drive, so we ended up taking all the tools and stuff up there to get it to roll back to the garage.
Yeah,
fix it in the garage, which put a 60 lap down. We had to change front subframe, wishbones, track rod arms, all the rest of it.
Track rods,
tie rods, the wing had to give. The wing was ripped off, front bumper, headlight, the whole lot.
That was my fault.
Yeah, but it was partially off, and he just kicked the rest of it off because it wouldn't move without it.
Yeah.
So that put us down. The wheels were pointing all sorts of different. I mean, it's not a good plug for him, unfortunately. But we had all square chassis set up with us. As I say, at the start of the race, the car had felt the best it's ever felt. It had got it nailed. After the damage, however, we didn't have time to get the string line kit out in the middle of a race, so it was that'd do, get out there. Which we went out there, and then I jumped in, and we were still going around in the 103. So, you know, the car still had pace even with all the damage. So we did that.
We should just point that out, actually, for anyone who was saying, "Oh, Stef's like a rocket in that thing. Your car's a rocket." It was bent, everyone. The car was like this.
It was.
And had a severe accident. I mean, it was still faster than you.
Yeah.
What is a good time in the KA round brands? Because, you know, you compare them to a C1.
52.5.
I can't remember what the fastest time I did in the C1 was. It was
the legit times. So the legit times in KAs were low 103s.
Right. Low 103s, yeah.
A little bit.
Well, I don't know. I think I got a 103.1 in the KA with the bent car.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure if I had
the
setup I had at the
high
start,
102s.
Just quickly though, guys. As discussed, we do try and be as impartial as we can on this show. So don't.
Yeah, but I've had a couple of drinks now.
Yeah, I know, but you're a gobshite anyway, Nicholas. But Stef has got a good quality lap from the EnduroKa that shows you with the Burton Power Car how you can drive well to driving standards with racing room. Should we play that?
Yeah.
There we go. It can be done.
Beautiful.
Racing room.
That's good.
Good for racing. See you later, Rob.
Rob's not having any of that.
No, he's not.
He's not happy with decent driving standards. He's gone.
No, to be honest, I think he was having internet issues before he's cut off. Hopefully, we do see him back on the show.
Yeah, no, I mean that.
Stef was 0.6 off the fastest lap with a car like a banana. So yeah. After that pit stop, it came out bright yellow, went out and ended up 0.6 off. So can't fault that, Stef.
Later on. It went back in the wall again, didn't it?
Oh.
So yeah, unfortunately,
let's not.
Our teammate jumped back in again. It had another excursion in paddock and hit the wall very hard.
Let's not get bogged down with who did what to who.
No, but it did happen. And then it come back in. We did some more repairs. And then the funny thing that happened, I'd say, is they're just about to chuck me in the car, and Chris from All Square chests out, come up to me and goes, "Look, the track's cooled down now. It was dark by this point." And he's looking at all the times. He's like, "There's 104s, 105s." And he's like, the track temp's not there anymore. Don't go chasing times. Just go out there, bring the car home, and all the rest of it. I'm like, yeah, no worries. It's not doable. I'm not going to keep trying to pound around in a 103 because I can't get to it. So I went out there, and I think it was the third lap in. It's like, oh no, it still does a 103, even though it's this bent. So it was it was still going. So bless her. But we made it to the end. It was laughable in the end because we were getting track limit penalties and all sorts. I wasn't cutting corners. It's not go that far, but you know, it was kind of laughable that we're hitting the track limit sensors and we're getting penalties for it. But you know, got to the end.
It was a shame to end the year. It was a real shame to end the year like that. There wasn't. Let's be honest. We had. I must say though, a very deserving podium. I think it's probably the my
Definitely, but
personal opinion.
it completely proves our theory at the start, doesn't it? They started 24th. They kept their nose
24th.
clean. They kept going around. I mean, there is a clip of their car that actually it did spin at one point. I have seen a clip of it, and they go and win the race.
Yeah, GM Performance actually got their first EnduroKa race. Gary Mitchell, I think it was his brother, he was racing with as well. I mean, I love that bloke all day long. I'm so happy to see him win the race. Misty Racing got second, didn't they? Which is another team we get on well with. So it's great to see them in second. And then there was a little bit of a swap around at the end, wasn't there, between the CIHR Hoonigan team and then the Frugal Racing team. And we all like Frugal Racing. Well, we like both those guys. So I'm not sure why there was a time penalty, but yeah, Frugal Racing ended up getting third in it as well. So a very deserving podium. I was pretty chuffed for that.
Definitely, 100%. I do like this comment here though. Where is it? There it is.
Comment assist.
Bent cars giving fastest laps is the topic of the show tonight. He's got a good point. He's got a good point. I think to be fair, guys, so
we meant the car was bent.
No, nothing like that. But so Stefan, Nick, and Nick Gough. So you're in the car, you know it's bent. You've probably got the adrenaline going. Is that part of that? The anger?
Yeah, I think so. I think it almost puts you into that underdog feeling as well. You're not expected to do well, so you just go for it, and you can't really do much more. So,
no, it is very true.
Exactly. David's come back. Actually, he didn't mean stolen. Vinny, how we doing? Vinny is finally here. A bit late, I know, but hey ho. Oh, mate, I missed it. I should have said right on cue from the snooker, but there we go. Has Stef apologised yet for overtaking me under yellows?
Didn't bring that one up, Stef.
I didn't see any yellows.
Yeah, we've not seen this. This is only your side of the story.
Unfortunately, the only downside to running an arrival driver is I haven't got any footage, so I have no idea.
I do.
But you may do. Unfortunately, all I was focusing on was I'm getting you into paddock. I was not looking around me. So if they're out, I can only apologise. But it didn't matter anyway because of what happened. So
yeah. Fine. I wouldn't have marched you up to the stewards and complained.
Of course not.
Okay, guys, we are running towards the end of the show now, so it just leaves me to talk about this. The ambassador program for 2022 for Clubracing UK is open now.
Yes, it is.
Steph, if they're interested, what do they need to do?
Head to the website. Let me get the right banner up here. You can go directly to that one if you want, or just head to the main page and you can find your own way there. Click on there. It gives you all the information of what you need to do there. So basically, we want to look after 3 drivers next year. We'll help them with everything that we can do, plus all our partners, which will be announced shortly. We are still finalising a couple, so hopefully they'll be done soon and we can start announcing them all. So we'll help you out and support you for the rest of for the whole of 2022. And then as an extra thank you and everything else, we're going to enter you guys with us into the Burkett Relay as Team Clubracing UK. So all you need to do is sign up as a member. It's £20 a year or £2 a month, which is sod all. And just email
less than a cup of coffee.
Exactly. Email in what you're up to next year. You do not have to be a race winner. You don't have to be anything special. You just have to be racing is the idea. Yeah. And then obviously we'll look for the applications and decide who we want to follow.
This is it. This is gonna be open until probably early 2022. And then probably realistically the end of January-ish time.
Yeah, January, February time, hopefully.
January, February time, we'll look to close it off, and then we will do a ambassador special for 2022. Obviously, we've been supporting drivers for the last 2 years now, so we've had some great people involved. So if you've got any questions, get in contact with our previous ambassadors as well. they've been contracted to tell you only good things, but no, in all seriousness, this, we're racers ourselves, and we know how hard it is out there. So yeah, we're in a position where we can help people out. So come along, join. We're a good laugh. You'll get regular intervals on this show as well, which is always good.
But whilst you remember, you'll also get at the moment currently access to our discount part. So there's a big list of companies that have jumped on board that you get discounts with, including Racing Mentor, which Nick missed out on, unfortunately. And also you'll get automatically into any competitions. I'm priority posting. We're not running any competitions at this moment, but we will be soon. But as soon as they're announced, then you're automatically in every single one. So become a member.
Yes.
There we go, guys. Last few comments of the night there. Carl Barton for Stefan.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hashtag for Stefan. That needs to be a thing.
It does. Vinny's come back. Apology accepted.
Sorry,
and last comment from
David.
David.
I must say that move though. This is why I probably saw no yellows, because I was right up behind him, and I went to the outside of going into paddock, and then he slowly started to cover me off, and I was like, "Stuff it! I'm going for the switch back." So as I switched back, he hit the brakes, and I was like, "Shit!" Nearly smashed that up, and then went up the inside. So that's probably why I saw sod all, because I was too busy concentrating. But it was close, and
that's racing driver excuse number 322.
There was no excuse. I was explaining the situation. I thought it was fucking awesome. And I was, I had a boner in the car at the time, if I'm honest.
Hang on.
I had a boner in the car. There you go, Vince. You got overtaken by a man with a boner.
That's time.
There we go. Right, last few comments, guys. David Elms, my best drivers after getting hit, third lap in the car. I think it definitely puts you in a mindset. Something's happened, so screw it. I'm going for it. Yes, Nicholas.
No, I was just going to say, actually, for anyone who didn't see our post earlier on, that our awards has now closed. The 2021 Club Racing UK Awards have ended, and we will be doing an awards special show in 2 weeks.
The 8th of December.
8th of December is going to be our Christmas special / awards ceremony. So dress to impress. We're going to be announcing our winners of our categories, including Save of the Year, sponsored by Turn 7 Limited, amongst with Race Car of the Year, Series of the Year, Best Crash, amongst others.
Awesome.
There we go, guys.
We will heavily promote that, so don't worry if you forget. We'll make sure you know about it.
Don't you worry about that. So make sure you tune in on the 8th of December there. And of course, if you want to listen back to any of our old episodes so far, they are available in audio on all good podcast outlets like Spotify, like your Amazon, like your Apple Podcasts. So if you want to listen to three guys ramble on about club racing since 2020, get yourself on there.
Yeah.
Get yourself on there. So that just leaves me tonight to thank Nick Gough. Thank you very much for coming on the show and telling us about your season. Hopefully it hasn't turned you away from Club Racing UK. We are a crazy bunch.
No, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. I just want to say, if you guys don't make it out into the C1 24 hours, then come find us in our garage. You can spend the weekend with us.
Yay!
Yes!
100%.
Party!
We'll be there.
We'll be there with beer.
Right. Hey. We
And beer.
We don't bring beer.
Well, yeah, exactly. Exactly. With beer, Steph's like a bloodhound.
Actually, that's one more shout out we should say. I should just say at the KA weekend, we've had, honestly, Shine Automotive.
Awesome.
What a bunch of blokes.
Yeah.
They are.
What a team.
Even if they did
rocked
steal
up.
our bloody biscuits.
Yeah, but to be fair, they messaged me before we went going. They said, what sort of vehicles you having at the back of the garage? I said, we just need one van. They're like, good, because we're putting an awning up with a heater and TVs and the rest of it. I'm like, bang it, I'm using it. So, yeah, it was good. At the back of their truck, they had a massive awning, big heater, the Formula One on the works, and a fridge full of beer.
Yep.
So, happy days.
Yes, they brought us beer.
They brought us beer. They did steal our biscuits.
It did cost me a pack of chocolate digestives, but it was good.
Not that you're bitter or anything, are you, Nicholas? Anyway,
Not
so
good.
So from Nick Gough, our special guest today from Robin Welch, who joins us earlier. Sadly, the battery died on his phone, so he shot off a bit earlier than usual. From Stefan Marsh, from Nick Holmes, and from myself, Robert Lewis. We'll see you on the 8th for the awards special, and we'll see you very
soon. See you later, everyone.
Goodbye.
Just to impress, Dicky Bows and everything.
Indeed. You have to